Manus flat on the canvas. We are ready to rock and roll. Second round of action. There is a cut on Manus.
Jesus.
Martial arts chat.
My man B-Hop, who got dropped out the ring last night. I need a little judo baby. I need me a little judo baby, and let's do it, Ron. Let's hit me up.
I see you were filming this. You got a face for radio.
That's got a face for radio.
That's nice.
Martial arts chat.
Martial arts.
Hello and welcome to the Martial Arts Chat podcast, and joining us on today's episode we have former UFC fighter and the founder of Fist Fighting League, Mr. Cody Pfister. Cody, how are you, sir?
I'm very good. I appreciate you guys for having me on today. Thank you for the time.
It's a pleasure as all ours, sir, and 2017 has been quite the year for you. We've seen you debut in Bellator, retire from MMA, start FFL, 2 submission victories, one over Johnny Gray and other over Crazy Horse. But let's talk about, or if we can cast our mind back to the start of it all. Your time in the UFC ends, but time is very much on your side, and you get the call from Bellator. Cody, talk to me about how the call from Bellator went down, and how was your time briefly working with that promotion?
It was really good. My manager gave me a call. I had about it was like 3 weeks or a month notice on that fight. And, it was a really good opportunity. I'd looked into Jonathan Gary, and it definitely seemed like he was a very beatable opponent. So we decided to take the fight, and ended up going really well, worked out in our favor. I went in there with just the intentions to go bomb that guy. I was planning on, since I didn't have a great camp, it was about a month before is when I found out about it, because I remember the training now. But, it wasn't the best camp I'd ever have. So it was like, fuck, man, I got to go in there and finish this dude fast.
Right.
So I went in there and just tried to go get that first round finish. And, I put a lot out there, and it ended up working out in my favor. So it was cool. I like going in there balls out and just trying to finish dudes, because it seems like, when you're going for that finish, something always happens, And no matter what, at least you'll win the first couple of rounds. I'm kind of one of those dudes, like, fuck it. If it's a 3-round fight and I win the first 2, you're not going to finish me in the 3rd round. So as long as I got those first 2 and I kill you, I'm going to win the fight. But I'm really looking to finish people, because I hate watching boring fights. Nobody wants to see some dudes, just kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be an entertainer and put on a show for the fans. So I look to try to, go ground and pound them out. I'm more of a ground and pound guy. I like to get people down and then start hitting them with my elbows, because elbows usually, they kind of scare people, and once people start bleeding or they start fearing the cut or something, they'll give up their back, and it usually sets up for a really fast submission. So I've got a lot of submission victories, but that all came from, I was destroying them on the ground, so they gave me the rec and let me choke them out.
That's an interesting philosophy, So it's like you want it, I guess, to be a finished submission or otherwise, but the starting point's really bloodying them up with the elbows. It's refreshing to hear a fighter talk that way, sir, rather than wanting the double, you want the finish, right? Yes, sir. Yeah, because, sometimes you get to watching fights, and it's like, damn, dude, it sucks. I'm a fighter, and I get bored of watching it, so if that says anything, it's like, shit. I'm getting tired of watching it. I know the guys who don't watch this stuff don't like it. Well said.
I really, growing up, always looked up to guys like, like Matt Hughes, GSP, all those dudes. I didn't like GSP because he wasn't much of a finisher, but I don't know. You know what I mean? There's just, I like the guys who got him down and just try to kill him once you got him down.
Sure.
I'm always trying to, I like to hit people with those elbows when I get them down, and then, you can generate a lot of power from those elbows. So sometimes you'll get a good knockout or something.
It's funny you say that. Like one of the local fighters down our gym at the Scottish Hit Squad, Chris Bungard, shout out to the bad guy. He always tells me that one of the greatest days of his life was turning from amateur to pro, just because he could finally elbow the dish off a guy, as he would say. Do some ground and pound, and improved his game massively. So I totally hear you there, brother. But let's talk about this retirement call. The retirement comes pretty much as a shock to us guys in the media. We were all stunned. But it was during that retirement announcement that you stated you wanted to concentrate on your own company. So can you tell us and those listening a wee bit about Fist Fight League and how it came about and what made you want to start your own MMA company, sir?
So, I kind of just got to the point where I was like, fuck, I'm tired of fighting for all these companies who don't, the UFC and Bellator treated me well, so I'm not talking about them, but,
right.
A lot of other smaller organizations growing up and stuff, I've had a couple of checks bounce, and whenever you go fight for somebody and that happens, it really sucks because it's hard to come back from that. But, now I've been on both sides of the fence, and I kind of know about the whole game works. It's crazy from being a fighter to being a promoter because you got to see, all the other shit that they have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be the worst guy in the world about paperwork. Nowadays, man, I have sympathy for those guys because the commission gives you so much shit when all that paperwork's late. And
right.
I'm not going to lie. I was late on everything. But, it's like, fuck, man, I'm good at fighting. I'm good at promoting. But paperwork's where I'm lacking. So I need to figure that out a little bit better. But, I'm a growing businessman. So me being 27 years old, I've got plenty of time to learn and stuff. But the way Fist Fight League came about, though, is just like I was tired of fighting for these bum-ass promotions. And I was like, man, I'm going to, put something back because my hometown, we hadn't had anything since 2011.
Yeah.
So I brought it back, and it was like, shit, I'm trying to bring this back for my town because we've had some tough dudes out of Amarillo. We've had Evan Tanner, we've had Paul Bonatello, Heath Hearing, Paul Jones, all kinds of tough dudes. Marcus Sursa, Chris Trammell, John King. There's just a list that goes on and on. Tough guys. So for me to, be able to give some new fighters the opportunity to go and possibly maybe add themselves to that list, that's pretty cool, I thought, because at the end of the day, I'm going to have to retire from fighting eventually. The reason I said that I was retiring is just because sometimes after practice, my body just feels so beat up and stuff. It's like, fuck this. I'm not getting paid enough to be feeling like this.
Yeah.
So, a lot of the fighting thing is it's like, you got to watch out for your financial situation, and that was my plan to start the Fist Fight League. I was kind of hoping to improve my finances a little bit. Starting up a business, though, I can say it's tough. It's definitely, I've got most of my resources invested in that thing right now, so it's like, shit, your first year of business, you don't make a lot of money, but,
no doubt. You got to take that risk,
all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to invest that shit. So it's an investment, but I believe it'll pay off. So we're going to be having our next show January 13th. 2016, we had 2 shows. It was good, we were just kind of getting everything figured out.
That's good.
I had originally planned to just retire, though, and just do the promoting. But the reason I made my way back into it is I saw that Charles Bennett had posted some shit on Facebook saying that he was broke and he needed to fight for some money. I was like, hell, this would be a damn good main event. So I hit him up, and he was down, so I brought him in, and we fought for the main event on Fist Fight League 2, and it was pretty cool, man. Getting to go out there and fight Charles Bennett, that dude, growing up, watching him on Pride and stuff, is like, dude, it was badass getting to go fight one of the dudes that you grew up watching. Yeah. 'Cause he's made a name for himself. Crazy Horse, he's a cool-ass dude, and he's crazy as shit. His name's not Crazy Horse anymore. He goes by Felon.
Felon, that's right.
Felony.
Yeah.
So, he's a good dude. It was cool to go fight him. Man, after we got done fighting, the same night we had to take all the chairs and shit out of that event, that dude stayed up until 7 in the morning helping me break down the event. We had to take the cage down, all the chairs. For him to do that said a lot about his character. So I can't say nothing but good things. Charles Bennett, he's a legit-ass dude. I really like that guy.
That's awesome.
He was, cool as shit. We both came into it knowing we're going to try to kill each other. Yeah. After the fight, we were cool. I would say that dude's one of my friends. Charles Bennett's a good guy.
Good to get some rub from one of the legends, for sure. His pride fight's crazy. And BJ Penn, I believe, was in the crowd that night as well. He was showing some support online. Sir. And how's your relationship with BJ? Do you guys he's pretty tight?
Yeah, BJ's cool dude. We brought him in to be the special guest. For us to be bringing in special guests like that too, it's cool. we gave the opportunity for these younger fighters to go and fight in front of a legend like BJ Penn. That gives them a lot of exposure and stuff, because you never know. You're one knockout away from the UFC. If the right media outlet gets it, you could be famous. And BJ Penn had a shitload of followers. So for him to be at our event, that was cool. BJ Penn, cool ass dude. He came with Wesley Cabbage Carrera. He was a real cool guy too. Paul Bonatello was there as well. So it was cool. A lot of good people. We had a good time, and it was nice to be able to bring those guys out.
Good to hear, man.
It was cool. It was a successful event, so I was really happy.
Look forward to the next one, mate. Yeah, it sounds like a positive experience. Excellent stuff. Let's get to your MMA career then. We'll be seeing you. Well, you're out in Melbourne just now, and you're going to be competing in the Kunlun fight for their lightweight title. Again, how did this come about, Cody? And what do you expect come this fight in Australia?
Sir. Shoot, I'd seen something. One of my buddies had tagged me on Facebook about somebody needing the toughest 155er, and they said in the world. I was like, fuck, man. Who knows? Maybe I'm the toughest 155er in the world. So they throw my name in the hat, and, we ended up getting the fight. I've been looking this dude up. Man, I plan on going and destroying this guy. I've watched some of his videos and stuff, and I'm just going to go fucking put the pace on him. Like I was telling you earlier, I'm going to try to go finish the fight. I'm going to look to cut this dude open. Hopefully I'll be able to knock him out with elbows, but, if worse comes to worse, I bet he'll give me his back, and, I'll be able to get a submission. But I'm really going to work to hit him really, really hard with those elbows. And also, too, I was watching his stand-up game. It kind of sucks, too, so I might try to knock this guy out on the feet, honestly, because he's got a decent ground game. He gets a lot of submission wins,
right?
But I don't know. I just feel like any way this fight goes, I'm going to crush this dude. I feel like I've been through too much shit, and it's all led me to get to this point. And, I'm more mature as a fighter than I've ever been. So physically, mentally, I'm at the top of my game. And I plan on just going and using that to destroy this dude. Just put my pace on him, go out, work him, and, really look to get that finish. Because I want to put on a show for the Australian people. And as soon as this fight's over, I'm going to call out the AFC champion, because they're doing a lightweight fight that night.
Right.
And I'm going to just tell them, dude, I'm coming to take all your belts, so get ready for it.
Watch out for that call out, guys. Cody, it's been a pleasure to get your time here in the Martial Arts Chat podcast. I'm so glad to be getting to see you compete inside the cage again. 27 years young, my friend. There's so much more fans like myself want to see from you, and obviously of your show of FFL. But I've got a question for you from one of my buddies who hosts a show called The Main Event in Lubbock, Texas. And if you don't mind, he wants to ask you, would you ever bring Fist Fight League to Lubbock, Texas, which is where he's from?
Oh, yeah. Tell him our plan was to do it at the end of the year, but I just kind of had too much stuff going on when I got this fight. We are going to be doing a show. It'll probably be within the first 2 or 3 months in the year, and it'll be in Lubbock. So we're going to do one January 13th in Amarillo. As soon as we do the January 13th, we're going to be looking to come to Lubbock, have an event then. So that's more than likely going to be mid-February. And we plan on going to the Dallas-Fort Worth area shortly after that and doing a show. One of my former coaches, he's going to be helping me do some stuff, and we're going to have a mainly stand-up event on that one. He's helping doing some of the Glory matchmaking now.
Oh, right.
So that'll be cool. Yeah, maybe we can get some people, get their foot in the door on that. I really want to set a foundation to build fighters up. I like to watch people's careers grow and stuff, and, for me to be able to give a platform for guys to build like that, that's cool. You know what I mean? I want to see the next UFC champion out of Fist Fight League, because that would be a fucking honor. That would be awesome. It would be cool to see something like that. So I just want to try to, promote as many fighters and stuff like that as possible, and just kind of bring it back to my hometown, because it sucked. We got a real good fight scene, but we had all these other, it's a lot of shitty people get into the fight game, and they try to fuck the fighters, and it's like, fuck that. That's why we started Fist Fight League. Fist Fight League's a fight organization run by fighters so that people don't get screwed over, because I've been in the position, and any way that I possibly can, I'm going to take care of them as far as I can. You know, sometimes there's some shit that I can't do because it's just like, man, I'm only 27 years old and I'm not rich. So, you know, I've got everything riding on this. But if there's anything I can ever do for my fighters, I try to do it. So that's, you know, that's where I'm trying to be different. I want to take care of my guys. So that's what I'm trying to do as much as possible, is just take care of my guys. Right now, you know, business is hard because, you know what I mean, we're a brand new company just starting out, so times are tough at the moment, but it's definitely going to get better, and, you know, I can't wait to just keep having these events. This last one was great. The next one's going to be even better, and just continue to grow and, you know, get better as we do it.
Yeah, glad to hear it, sir. Cody, it's been an honour to get your time here, and good to hear we've got one of the good guys on the promotion side of things. If people want to reach you online or on social media, or they want to find out more about Fist Fighting League, how are they best to do that, sir? Where can they check you out?
Definitely go check me out on Facebook. We got Fist Fight League. It's one of the pages. Go check out my fighter page, UFC fighter Cody the Fist Pfister, or, you know, just go look me up, Cody Pfister. I'm also on Instagram. I don't ever get on my Twitter, so I wouldn't say go to Twitter because I don't even use it. But, you know, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. You know, and if you're a fighter interested in coming and making your way up, man, hit me up. I'd love to give you the opportunity to fight. You know, it'll be cool. I just want to see people's careers grow and stuff. Preferably, we'd like to have people in driving range, but you know, it's definitely an honor to be on shows like this, too, because this gets our exposure out there. So thank you guys for letting me be on your show. You know what I mean? Without all the MMA medias like yourself, you know, it wouldn't be possible for guys like me to make a living. So I just want to say thanks to all my sponsors that allow me to, you know, do what I do. So that's cool. We got, you know, a lot of different good people that support me. I've got Good Feet from Amarillo, Ryan O'Neill Auto, Jorge's Mexican Bar and Grill, D&D Mattress. There's a lot of good people, just anybody and everybody that's ever sponsored me. You know, I can't tell them how much I appreciate everything they've ever done. I've got Near Fall Clothing. I've got a lot of support in town, and just everybody who makes it happen, man. That's, you know what I mean, being a fighter, we, I don't know. People that support fighters, man, that's cool because they help us live out our dreams. Without sponsors and stuff, I know a lot of the MMA fighters wouldn't be able to do what they do. So anybody and everybody, guys like yourself, anybody who supports MMA, I really appreciate it. Anybody who's a fan of MMA, I can't tell them how much us fighters appreciate it because without people watching, you know what I mean? That's half of the dream is like knocking somebody out in front of a crowd. Knocking somebody out's a great feeling, but if there was nobody to see it, it wouldn't be as cool. So for people to, you know, pay respect and watch the sport, that shit's cool. So I appreciate all the fans and, you know, all the followers, all the MMA outlets, you know, everybody who supports MMA. I really appreciate it because without you guys, it wouldn't be possible.
We appreciate your love, Cody, and right back at you. Thank you very much for your time. All the best in Melbourne. Best of luck with all things Fist Fighting League. Look forward to speaking to you again soon, my friend.
Thank you, brother, man. I can't wait till, you know, you guys get to see me get a finish on Saturday. And, you know, if you don't mind, go put the highlight of me killing this dude up.
You got it.
That'd be cool.